Yo, what is going on, my people? We are back doing another animated horror shorts reaction video for you guys. I wanted to take a quick break from the normal FNAF Lost tapes for a bit so we can get more of them over time, because we've been reacting to so many of them, honestly, guys. We're nearly run out of like all the really good ones that we haven't watched as of late, so we're gonna take maybe about a week break. It shouldn't be too long, hopefully, or maybe two, who knows, but I'll let you guys know ahead of time. But yeah, besides that, guys, let's just dive right on in. Let's do it. Alright, guys, so this one we're starting off pretty crazy. This is Gumballs in the Park, and this is from Meatcanyon, and as you can see, he done already bodied my boy Mordecai and Rigby. It's all bad, but let's go ahead and do it, guys. Let's go. I'm scared, honestly.
Dude, when we get done raking these leaves, we should go watch a movie and order a pizza.
You read my mind.
Looking good, boys. Looking very good indeed. You both have done such a good job today. Don't see why you couldn't give yourself a little reward, right? Like the day.
Hold up. My boy, dude, Benson looks super, like super sus, bro. Let's just go, man. Look at their faces.
Off? How about a gumball?
I don't think.
Unless you both think that you haven't been doing a good job, and if that's the case, maybe I should just let you go. I hate to fire you, because in my eyes, you both have been doing so well.
We've been trying our best.
Look what he's doing. Oh my God! Look at Pops.
Yeah, we've been working hard lately, Benson. I know you boys have. That's why I want to spoil you with a little treat.
Jolly good show.
Oh my.
Go on and get yourself one. Better spit on those fingers.
Oh!
Old hedges aren't getting any younger. A little spin for both of us. Uh-oh. Looks like somebody got a reward. I'm gonna get back to work.
Oh,
you should smile more. You look so much prettier when you smile.
Ew.
Don't tell anyone I told you this, but you're my favorite here.
Oh.
I think you can go a long way in this company if you were just a bit more of a team player. Do you think you can be a team player for me, Rigby?
Oh no. Dude, hold on. I need to take a mental break, bro. Yo, Meatcanyon, what is this, bro? What is going on? Oh my God.
The cologne is intoxicating.
I don't think I want a gumball, Benson. I should probably get back to work.
Come on, no one's looking. You've done so well that I think you deserve 2 gumballs.
I don't really.
If it's good for me, it's good for you.
Oh my God.
There's one. I think you have a great future here. You're my number 2, you know. Hey, but don't tell anyone else that. They'd probably get jealous. Go on and take it. You deserve it. Easy now. It's tender. God, you're good, baby.
Oh.
Get it. God, you're good, baby. Go on and get it.
Oh my God.
Go get back to work. But hey, can you do me a favor? Can you have a great day for me?
I don't know what the heck was going on with that. That made me so uncomfortable. I cringed throughout mainly 95% of the whole thing, excluding the beginning where just everybody looks weird. That's just how Meatcanyon is. But yo, yeah, oh my God, that's so freaking creepy. Let's go on to the next one, guys. Let's go on to the next animation. I can't, bro. All right, guys. So now we're doing 6 Facebook horror stories. We're gonna look at maybe 1 or 2 of them, but this is from Mort. Go ahead. The link will be in the description down below if you want to see the rest of these, because I know these are really. I love horror animations. So yeah, let's go ahead and start this. Let's do it. Okay.
I had just moved into a new apartment, and being the broke post-grad I was, I had pretty much nothing except a few boxes of stuff from my parents' house. It was nice to be done with school and have my own place, yeah, but I didn't even have any furniture.
My boy.
Like I said, I was completely broke, so I thought maybe I'd be able to find something at least decent on the free section of Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, you gotta be careful.
If you've ever
on
searched for
Marketplace.
furniture on Facebook Marketplace, you know it's not great.
It's not.
Half the couches there are held up with duct tape or something along those lines.
That's facts.
I knew I couldn't be picky, but I wanted something that could at least last me until I had enough money to buy a nice one. I'd been scrolling for well over an hour, and was probably already a week into the backlogs. I scrolled back to the top and refreshed the page. The second I did, I saw an ad pop up titled, "Brand new couch, never used, free for pickup." The post wasn't even a minute old, and I knew I had to be quick if I was going to have a chance at getting this thing.
No, don't.
The couch was in perfect condition.
I'll say this now, just for the future reference, guys. 'Cause I know it's a lot of younger viewers on the channel, or anybody just with common sense who uses Facebook Marketplace. Look very carefully before you start shopping. It's the same way as Craigslist. Be very careful. Look at your information before you attempt to buy anything. Look at background checks of the person who's actually selling the stuff, because they have their profile on there. So you got to be very careful with that. Coming from somebody who actually does like a little bit of shopping on Facebook Market, you have to be careful. Just letting you guys know that. But yeah, let's dive right back in.
I quickly typed out a response to the seller, saying I'd be willing to take it off their hands. I got a response not even 3 minutes later that read, "Yeah, the couch is all yours if you can come pick it up tonight. I'm available
Tonight?
anytime past 9 p.m. I was slightly put off by the
What?
response. It was currently noon, and this guy wanted me to wait till 9
At
p.m. to pick it
night?
up, way past when the sun would have gone down.
Red flag.
But
No.
I ignored it, thinking maybe the guy had work till then or something.
No.
So I texted him back saying that was fine, and
No
proceeded
way.
to wait. Come 8:30, and I sent over a text to the guy saying I was on my way. I typed in the guy's address, and quickly realized the guy lived in the middle of nowhere. Now, I live right next to the Rocky Mountains, so yeah, there aren't that many people nearby, but this guy was seriously in the middle of nowhere. My GPS said it would take 45 minutes to get there,
Heck
so I
no.
quickly set off. As I drove,
Oh my
the housing development slowly became less and less frequent. My GPS eventually took me on these really sketchy one-way dirt roads. About 10 minutes later, it said I arrived. Sure enough, there was an actually decent-looking house, but there was no other civilization for at least a few miles. Somehow I had service and was able to send out a text telling the guy I was there. Not even 10 seconds later, I got a response simply saying okay. I figured that was this guy's way of telling me he was ready, so I walked up to the front door. I knocked on the door, to which someone responded in a muffled voice. "The door's unlocked. Come on in." From the way
Heck
the
no-
voice sounded,
no.
it was as if whoever said it was right on the other side of the door. I opened the door and peeked inside before entering. I quickly realized how weird this situation was. The
Dark
place was
web type
pitch
stuff.
black, with not a single light on. Now, this was before every cell phone had a flashlight on it, so literally all I could use to help me see was the moonlight shining in from one of the windows. I yelled out a hello, to which I could hear someone responding from a door on my left that was open, and I could tell it led to a basement. The voice said, "Come on down here. I got the couch ready to be moved." At this point, I was
No.
completely on edge. I replied,
No.
saying, No, that's okay. I gotta go." I turned around, swung open the front door, and started running back to my car. I unlocked it, got in, and
man.
proceeded to relock the doors. I gave one last glance at the house before leaving. No one had chased me, though through one of the windows I could see the dark outlines of 4 different men just looking out at my car. I booked it out of there at that point, and drove
heck
straight
no.
back to my apartment. When I got back, I checked my phone to see I had 3 new messages from the guy's number. The first one asked why I left, followed by one asking if I still wanted the couch. But the third one is what disturbs me most. It simply read, "You're lucky." This is by far the most disturbing experience of my life, and has caused me to never use Facebook Marketplace or anything similar again. To this day, I'm convinced those guys in that house that night never had the intention to sell me a couch.
See, this is why you need to be freaking careful when you do stuff like that. And for one, when you do deals like these, first off, if you're going to somebody else's house, bring somebody with you. You don't go there by yourself. That's one. Two, if it's something small like, okay, I'm about to buy a video game or something like that, then your best bet, if you're trying to meet up with somebody, meet up in a public area like a mall, a store, something. Don't go in there by yourself. Don't go in the middle of nowhere like this dummy, because you're going to end up getting bodied or close to getting bodied. Just saying. Because that's no. Don't do that. Like, oh my God.
A few weeks ago, I had to fly out to a small town I'd never been to before in order to look for a place to live at for school. I was flying alone, though before the trip I had researched all sorts of apartments in the area on Facebook Marketplace, and was actually able to set up a few meetings to look at places. The first meeting was in the late afternoon, in a sort of remote residential area. The landlord sounded fine over email, and asked me to call him an hour before meeting him to confirm I was coming. And so I did just that. I called him an hour before, but he didn't answer. I decided to just start walking to the house and hope the landlord would show up by the time I got there. About an hour later, the guy called me. He asked me if I was still coming, to which I replied, "Yeah, I'm actually only about 5 minutes away." Though, the guy's reply caught me completely off guard. He replied, furious, saying I wasn't supposed to show up for another hour. I quickly realized he was right. Back then, I had a pretty old phone. It wouldn't automatically change times whenever you switch time zones. I forgot to change it manually, and realized I was showing up an hour early. I explained the situation to the guy over the phone, but I could tell the dude was furious. Now, I get I was in the wrong, but still, getting that mad over something as small as this seemed weird to me. I explained to the guy I'd be willing to just stay outside of the house till the agreed upon time, to which he quickly replied saying no, almost pleading with me. At this point, alarms were going off in my head, but I ignored them as I really needed a place to live. I decided I'd just go get some food at a nearby place to pass the time.
See, my thing is this, is that really this necessary? If you had needed a place to stay that badly, right? To the point where the actual person is going off on you, all because you showed up a little bit earlier and you explained to them what's going on and you're still mad and frantic about it, that's a red flag. No. See, for me, I'm too paranoid for that stuff, you know? If somebody's acting that crazy over me just arriving a tad bit early, which is technically better than arriving a whole hour late, I mean, why not, right? But okay. These people don't understand red flags when they see one. I play too many horror games. I needed to be at the house for the tour.
Once the time came for the tour, I showed up to meet the guy. The guy looked to be in his 50s, and if I'm being honest, he looked disgusting. Some of his clothes were half torn, and it didn't even look like he'd showered for weeks. I didn't feel comfortable, and found myself just wanting to leave. Though, like I said, I really needed to find somewhere to live, and there weren't that many choices in terms of real estate at that point. So I decided to stay. As I was discussing the details about the house with the guy, I couldn't help but notice a man leave the house from a back exit. This man was young, and extremely sketchy looking, even more so than the guy I was talking to. He took one look at us, ran out of the house to his car, and pulled away. At this point, I was full on disturbed. I asked the guy who that was, to which he replied it was another person he was giving a tour to earlier. The guy then proceeded to ask me a lot of questions. They weren't normal questions a landlord would ask, but rather more personal questions, like how old I was, or what I was going to school for. The whole time staring into my eyes without blinking. I tried to give answers that were as vague as possible. Finally, we entered the house. Now, from the outside, the house actually looked decent, but upon entering, you could tell the place wasn't taken good care of. I followed the guy as we walked around the house looking at all the rooms. Every time I would ask about the condition of the house, the guy would avoid the question, simply saying it was unfinished. After we finished looking at all the rooms, the guy mentioned he wanted to show me a shed in the backyard of the house. Before I could say anything, the guy told me to follow him as he led me to the back of the house outside away from the street, to this sort of detached shed. When we got there, he opened the door and I quickly noticed that there were stairs leading down into utter darkness. He flipped on a switch at the top of the stairs, but no light came on. Normally, the response for this would be surprise, or something like that. But he didn't say anything, and just started slowly walking down into the utter darkness, as if he
I would
expected
have
no light
turned
to come on.
around and
The
booked
guy
it.
was now just standing there at the bottom of the stairs, in the dark, and said, "Aren't you coming down?" I said nothing, still in shock that the landlord wanted me to follow him down into this dark basement cut off from the rest of the house.
If
For
you don't
whatever
run, I
reason,
swear.
I glanced back at the house and saw another guy in the backyard doorway. I panicked
You couldn't tell me the. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna stop
and
anymore.
ran
I'm
into
sorry,
the
guys.
woods. I didn't look back, and honestly, I didn't want
Keep
to.
running.
I don't know if they followed me, but after about a half mile of running, I turned around to find no one. I quickly realized the situation I was in. I was in the middle of
Can't
the
get over
forest
how
at
she's running.
sunset, with people possibly chasing me.
Hey, your neck bent
Luckily,
kinda
my
hard,
phone had
too.
service, and I was able to find my way back to the hotel I was staying at with no other problems. As soon as I got back, I googled the house and did some more research on it. Apparently, the house had been abandoned for 3 years. I checked the status of the original Facebook Marketplace posts I'd responded to, but of course, it was deleted. I debated whether or not to call the cops and report the situation,
Man.
but decided against it, as I figured there wasn't much they could do. I can only imagine the guys I encountered that night were a group of homeless people with some unknown intentions.
My boy was out
Whatever
for
the
blood. It
case,
was
the
over.
whole situation was extremely disturbing.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Be very careful of what you do on Facebook Market, like for real. And I barely do anything on Facebook Market anyway. But the stuff that be on there, you have to be extremely careful because it's full of scams and like a whole bunch of other stuff that could be very dangerous. So I'm just saying though. But yeah, guys, let's go on to the next video. All right, guys, so we're going the 3 Urban Legends horror stories animated. Now, like I said, guys, this is from the same content creator, Morts. So if you want to go ahead and check out the full video, go ahead and check out their channel. We're going to check out the first horror story. And yeah, let's dive right on in.
Story happened when I moved back to Tokyo from the US in 2016. I'm originally from Japan, but my parents and I moved to the United States when I was just 6 years old. On the first day in a new high school, I was really shy and I was rather new to the community. I considered myself a rather shy person. I was a kid in a new area. It was the first day of school, and I sat down on an appropriate-looking school bench and looked around me. I instantly noticed a girl waving and walking towards me. Her name was Ami, and we would soon become
button
great
up your
friends in the
shirt?
future. She later introduced me to her friend group, and I liked them instantly. They were very positive and extremely nice to me. Their names were Suki and Rumigo. Before I knew it, I had already found myself a new home. It felt like I was living there my whole life. One sunny day, we were having a picnic during our lunch break. Eventually, the conversation shifted towards urban legends. Suki started telling us about these, and she said they were allegedly real. She told us a scary story
not no
about a girl who
creepypasta.
appeared to be cut in half. Many people reported seeing her at night. Essentially, people claimed they saw a ghost girl with her guts hanging visibly out of her body. While this obviously terrified me, I was always the skeptical kind towards folklore and legends.
Nah, bro.
I personally believed that they were just made for children to behave or something to scare people with. Suki eventually asked her grandfather about the story, and he explained it to her. Apparently, this thing was called the Teke Teke. Legend had it that a girl was murdered by her classmates on a railroad. Her body was cut in half when they left her on the rails, and a train ran her over. And now, the ghost haunts people who walk by railroads at night.
I think I
Suki
actually heard
eventually
something
told
about
us
that
this,
too,
and there was
for
a
real.
short silence. We all looked at each other and laughed out loud, except for Suki. She was dead serious. I told her that she'd been watching too many horror movies, and that things like this just don't exist in real life. We
Nah,
giggled a
bruh.
bit more, but Suki's face remained stone cold. She really believed it. I commended Suki's efforts to scare us, but let her know promptly that she failed. She rolled her eyes, and she seemed visibly upset. I knew she was a big fan of this stuff, but I never thought she'd believe it. She then told us, "Okay, if you girls are so sure that it's fake, why don't we go test it ourselves?" We don't have anything.
See, no, that's when you messed up. See, no. Well, this is the reason why. If somebody would have offered that option up in my group of friends, I'm like, okay, y'all can go there. I'm gonna stay my butt here, play me some PlayStation or some Xbox. I'm not doing that. No, there's no way in the heck I'm about to get bodied by a severed girl that's out cutting people open and junk and splitting them in half. I'm not getting chased by a phantom, bro. You can do that on your own. I'm not doing it. Period.
Lose, right? My laughter stopped immediately. While I didn't believe in the legends, I was still hesitant to go out in the middle of the night to some abandoned area. I was willing to prove that ghosts didn't exist, but not that badly. I had no problem proving Suki wrong, but crazy people and animals in the middle of the night were an actual threat. So, are we going to some abandoned canal or sketchy location to prove this? I asked Suki. No, the trial will take place in our school, Suki said. I let out a sigh of relief. I mean, it was our school. We've all been there before, and there's plenty of people at all hours. So, what will we do? I asked Suki. Suki told us that we would be trying to summon a girl named Hanako-san. The urban legend regarded a girl who committed suicide on the third stall of the third floor of her school. We would have to enter that stall of our school, say her name, and punch 3 times on the stall doors. Then, she might appear. We decided to meet after our extracurricular activities in a third-floor toilet at around 7 p.m. For context, I joined a few classes where I volunteered to help my art teachers at school. It was a great way to spend my free evenings. Making origami and hanging out with people my age beat being bored at home any day. The extracurricular itself ended at around 7 p.m., so it was a perfect time to meet with the girls in the bathroom. There really weren't going to be any kids to bother us, and the school was technically open at this time. And so we proceeded with our plan. Roughly after 7 p.m., we met in the toilet. Suki had already prepared a few candles and warned us not to turn on any lights. She had her hood up. It was already giving me the creeps. We stood in a circle and looked at each other with straight faces. It was starting to look like some sort of cult. At this point, I was already getting creeped out. She rose her finger to her mouth and let us know that we were supposed to be silent during this whole time. She then took a red pencil out of her bag and drew something on the third stall. She told us,
see, she's possessed. Nope, she's possessed, bro. Nah, bro. Absolutely not. My friend's drawing stuff like that on the wall. I'm leaving.
Quietly to hold each other's hands, and we did. We held each other's hands tightly, and Suki started mumbling something under her breath. She then said loudly 3 times, "Hanako-san, can you hear me?" I closed my eyes out of fear. At this point, I even started to doubt myself and believed that something might actually appear. My heart was racing and my palms were sweaty. My legs started to give out. I slowly opened my eyes. Nothing was there. Suki tried a few more times, but after a few more minutes she gave up and we left the stall. I was beyond relieved. Nothing happened. I looked at the other girls and they seemed a bit spooked but relieved as well. Suki finally gave in and said maybe we were right. She put out the candles and we packed our stuff and left. It was already dark outside and I knew my mom would be mad. I forgot to text her earlier that I would be later than usual. When we left school, I tried to reach inside my backpack and find my phone to text my mom. I shuffled around, but it wasn't there. Damn it, I must have left it on the windowsill of the bathroom. I looked up at that bathroom window, and the thought of going back in there sent chills up my spine. I eventually excused my friends and ran into the building. There was no one there except for me and the janitor working the late shift. I went up the stairs and slowly went by the bathroom doors. There was a dead silence by the opening. No lights were on. I was afraid to go in there. I heard a rumbling noise from the inside. No way I'm going in there, I told myself. But I stopped for a second and thought about it. I'm not gonna leave my phone in there. If I allow that to happen, someone's just gonna take it the next day. And what, I'm gonna allow that to happen because of something fake? And what would I tell to my mom after losing a $1,000 phone?
$1,000?
No, I'm going in. I walked in and saw my phone straight away at the end of the bathroom. I tried turning on a light, but it wasn't working. That's weird. I had no time to waste, so I ran quickly to get my phone. I was happy to have it. But before I turned around and waved to my friends outside, I heard a thudding sound behind me. This time, twice as loud. It was coming from the third stall. I was paralyzed by fear. I looked up and down the stall and spotted a brown robe swinging over it. There was blood coming out from the bottom of it. I didn't want to see anything more. I ran out of the toilet as fast as I could, never even thinking about looking back. I told no one about it and tried to block it from my mind. If it really happened, This would destroy my mental health and the perception of my world. It couldn't be true. I couldn't have seen a real ghost. It can't be. As I came back home, I tried to go to sleep, but I couldn't close my eyes. I was so afraid she would come to me. I was up all night on guard, looking around my room. I even had a nightstand lamp turned on because I couldn't see the whole room clearly. I felt like a wreck the next day. My mom tried to ask me what's wrong. I looked so tired and paranoid, but I didn't speak a word to her during breakfast. I was paranoid and terrified of the thought of going to my first class. It was on the 3rd floor. But what I saw as I walked up the stairs was somehow even more petrifying. The toilet doors were blocked by a few police officers, and around them was yellow police tape. One of my friends approached me and told me about a horrific incident. Apparently, a lower grade girl committed suicide yesterday right after we left the bathroom. She waited for us to leave and then attempted to cut her wrist. That didn't work, so she hung herself. It then clicked, and I realized what I saw last night. It wasn't a ghost. It was a person. I was an eyewitness to that girl taking her own life, and I did nothing. I couldn't believe I just ran away in anticipation of it being a ghost. I burst into tears, still telling no one that I was there. Afraid of the consequences, I just told my friends that she must have came in there after I retrieved my phone. It may not be a ghost, but the guilt of what happened that night will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, mental health is something serious, everybody. I'm just being real. Yeah, that's the end of the animation reaction, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This one is very different. We're going to keep doing these too. If you guys really do enjoy these type of horror animations, then I'll definitely keep reacting to them. Besides that, guys, let me know how you like this new outtake. It's very interesting, or animated stories, horror stories, and all that other stuff. But this is very interesting to say the least. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hope you also like, comment, and subscribe and share that. I do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. You know, just all the amount of support is freaking insane. So thank you, and sharing it to your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats, whatever you feel like doing. It means a lot, and it goes a long way. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.